Yeah, so that was International Rebellion Part 1. Whoa, it's moving fast. Slow it down. Oh, pause. Okay, yeah. And it was effective. So you had this real sense of achievement. Again, not like anything I've felt before or since, because it feels, on the one hand, so much bigger than you, like it's everything. And then on the other hand, it's so personal, because you're so invested in it, and it's amazing. But the sense of achievement came when you see how the agenda was changing afterwards. So the news agenda, for example, climate change was right up there. It was fantastic to see. I don't know if you remember all that in around April time and into May. For example, there were YouGov polls post-rebellion saying that the public concern for the environment was the highest level since 2010, and then 83% of people interviewed agreed that climate change is one of the greatest threats facing humanity. So, in terms of raising awareness, I'd say that's a pretty good result. The 1st of May, there was a bill passed by Parliament, which acknowledged a climate emergency, declared a climate emergency. So that was really something as well. Stuff you just, months beforehand, just didn't seem likely at all, and they were happening. Incredible stuff since then. So they declared a climate emergency. I don't know if you've noticed any of the actions on that. Have things changed since they declared a climate emergency? I haven't really noticed any major changes since, unfortunately. So it got to the top of the agenda, but I'd say, there's work to do. The demands weren't met, essentially. We saw the demands earlier. There were 3 of them, still are. So I don't think I need to recap those, but because they haven't been met, we're going to go back. We're going to keep going, and we're going to do what needs to be done. So, in October the 7th, Extinction Rebellion will be in London again. There will be many more sites this time. You've just seen and heard about Waterloo Bridge. That was one site of 4 last time. There's going to be at least 10 this time, probably more, maybe up to 15, but we'll see. The Southwest, again, will have one site of its own. Obviously asking people to come join us, get involved. There's a lot to do. So I'll just run through the slides and tell you, it's like kind of a techie, hopefully not boring, but like this is how it's organised. I think with these beautiful slides, that certainly helps because somebody has done some gorgeous designs here. So, basically all the different sites around, I should say actually, because we're looking for system change, we're going to the heart of the political system. All the sites are going to be around Westminster. They'll all have a certain structure within them, a number of groups working on different things. They'll be organised in a particular way, and each site will have that same organisation, that same structure, and then as well as all having that same structure, there'll be what we call a rebellion or a rebel support office as well, which will mirror the same structure. So all the sites using this system will mean that they have parallel point people that they can talk to on any of the other sites, and they'll also have a parallel point person they can talk to in the rebel support office. So in this way, now this is different to April, because then we had what we called then the back office. They were kind of making decisions, I guess, and saying, no, we're not going to move here, we're doing this, we're not doing that. So Extinction Rebellion tries to be as flat as possible, as decentralised and inclusive as possible, and this system is quite beautiful because it reflects that so much better. Basically, the sites will be making decisions themselves and won't be told what to do top down or anything. So this is the structure that they're all going to have, basically. There'll be parent groups. working on different things like action support. So importantly there, things like action design. Like what's it gonna look like? What's it gonna be doing? And then things like disability coordination. I mean, there's a long list. I can get these out to you if you want to go through all the different details and see which of these you might be interested in actually getting involved with as well. The second parent group along there is arrestee support. So obviously one of the tactics of Extinction Rebellion is non-violent civil disobedience, non-violent direct action, non-violent civil disobedience, and we understand that that does come with arrests. But as Kitty described, there is a lot of support for people that do go through that process, as much as possible. And being organised about it means that support can be there all the better. World building and production, so that's all the logistics, stages, power, sanitary stuff, whatnot, and media and messaging, social media, press stuff. And the last one on the list though is movement support. So that's like making sure that the philosophy and culture of XR runs through everything that we're doing. So there needs to be inductions for people that are coming onto the site, so they're not just thinking, oh, it's a nice party, maybe I'll just call my friends, we'll get some beers down here, maybe we'll just hang out. And it's like, actually, hold on. This is the biggest act of mass civil disobedience the UK has ever seen. So if you want to get involved, please do, but it's not so much sitting around drinking type of thing. So trainings, all sorts of great stuff. People's assemblies on there as well. So there's going to be a lot of people's assemblies, I think. Right. Oh yeah. If you want more details, we can go one level deeper here. Each parent group has a number of working groups within it as well. So each parent group, I said, there was, for example, media and messaging and world building. They will have an internal and an external coordinator. So external coordinators can talk to other external coordinators, and that's how you get those decisions being made. And then you have internal ones which organise meetings between the working groups. I think I'll not dwell on this too much, because you can find out more if you do want to get involved. It's taken a few weeks for everyone just to really get their heads around the system. And now, at the moment, what we're doing is recruiting. There's a huge amount of recruiting going on. Well, we call it integration rather than recruitment, but it's basically recruitment. So calling up people who have given us their numbers, saying that they would like to get involved, like, oh, well, my expertise are media, so I don't know what you might want me to do. And then we call them up and we say, that's great, could you do X, Y, Z? So it's all about the spreadsheets at the moment. #RebelAdmin. Oh yeah, and that was just like how all the roles are being filled. Regional coordinator finds all the internal coordinators, and they find all the working group points, and then they find all of the other roles. I mean, there's a huge amount of people for every site that's needed. But we have the people there, we have all the support. So this one is not so much my area of expertise, but kind of the slide says it all, basically. I mean, last time we were in contact with the government, as we were involved in the rebellion, it was the, political circle was basically doing that. This time, again, it's more inclusive, and we've got points from each of the sites. We're going to be forming a rebel council, and the rebel council will speak to the liaison team, who will have input from Political Circle, XR Youth, and the International Solidarity Network. It's worth saying that XR has gone global in a big way right now, so yeah, that's important as well. And obviously the liaison team will go between the Rebel Council and the government. That's all of them. Yeah, so some of the things, I think Kitty's already talked a bit about the care. The care that was on the bridge. It's part of the philosophy of Extinction Rebellion, and it's part of how this has all been designed as well. So some other parts of that I just wanted to mention are things like adaptability and community, radical participation, and resilience as well, because goodness knows we need resilience, right? We're going to need it ever more. So actions in exile, we call any kind of thing like this, or blocking the road, or whatever you're doing, it's from actions, and they're not just trying to get something done, they're also kind of a vision, like we're building a vision of how we want society to be, how we want to be with each other, basically. So that's a lot about London and how that's all going to work, but there's also a call for support in local areas as well. So obviously not everyone can get up to London for 2 weeks, although we're asking everyone, can you just take 2 weeks off work and just like go to London? That'd be great. Not entirely practical for everyone. So at the local level, anything people can do is also going to be really, really helpful for making this huge. So I think I'm gonna leave it there, because we'll go on to that in the People's Assembly. We're going to talk about what Wimborne could do to support the international rebellion. That's the question. So you can start kind of subconsciously processing that now, and then we'll talk about it more in a bit. Something else is going to happen first, right? Yeah, so I'm going to hand it over to Jonathan.